This broadcast is streamed and produced by Midnight Sports and is not affiliated with any hockey organization, club, or team. Midnight Sports is comprised of hockey parents who stream games for friends and family who cannot attend the games in person. Today's broadcast features D-Biz on production and camera and CDS on commentary. We hope you enjoy it.
From Abe Stark, it's the McClancy Crusaders taking on the St. Joe's Vikings. The Vikings come into this one having won all their games on the season. This young season so far, they are 3-0. They've notched victories over St. Edmund Prep, 11-3 over this Monsignor McClancy team, 10-7, and Holy Cross, 8-0. The Crusaders remember that game that happened on November 20th, where they lost by 3, and they're going to want to get some revenge today. The Crusaders come in 1-1 on the season, having won their other Friday Night Lights game back on November 17th against St. Peter's by a score of 11-7. Stick around. This is going to be a real good one. We can't thank you enough for joining us late here on a Friday. Happy December to you. It's the holiday season, and we're going to gift wrap this one to you. Coming up next, right here on Midnight Sports. Well, there goes the buzzer for the warm-up period here from Abe Stark Sports Center in Brooklyn. Both teams at their benches getting some last-minute strategy from the coaches. The Crusaders and the Vikings cleaning out their creases as well from the warm-up pucks, and we'll see who's going to come over the boards here first for both teams as the scorekeeper gets the clock set. It'll be 15 minutes on the board once everyone's ready to roll in this one. Again, late here on a Friday night, December 1st. We can't thank you enough for joining us on Midnight Sports. It's great to have the company. We could do this without you, but we wouldn't. And so we'll get ready to roll here momentarily as the Vikings are going to put their undefeated record on the line in this Catholic High School Hockey League matchup against the McClancy Crusaders. Once we do get rolling, the Crusaders will be moving right to left on your television screen, or if you're just listening, that is your radio dial. They're in their road red jerseys. Vikings in their home whites. They'll be moving left to right in this first and third period on your screen. Looks like the Vikings are set out there. Crusaders, one last cheer, and they will go ahead and head out onto the ice. It'll be shots in goal there for the folks in red, and the Crusaders get set. It'll be Davi, Bizarro, Allen out there to start this one off. Crusaders still working out the rest of their players. Looks like Campanella as well. Anyway, one forward. Bizarro pours into the offensive zone. It's sticked right out by the Vikings. They try and set something up in the neutral zone. They'll gain the line, dump in, hit a shin pad, and the Crusaders will go point to point. Work that right up through the neutral zone. They gain the line and dump on in. Bizarro fires in on the forecheck. Puck rolls around to the far side of the ice just 20 seconds into this one. It'll be the Vikings lifting that up and out of play. So at 14:37 left to go here in the first, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Crusaders. They'll keep the same skaters out there. It's Radu to take this draw. He's got Bizarro to his right and Campanella to his left. Bizarro takes that faceoff win from Radu, gets it right back down from the far point, tries to work it farther. And the puck sits at the dot momentarily, and now it will be the Vikings working that up at the top of the far circle, all the way out of their zone with speed into the neutral zone. They'll gain the line. No, they didn't. That one's going to go across the end line for an icing. And so it'll be another offensive zone draw here for the Crusaders. Just 42 seconds into this one. And so looks like they will make a partial line change out there. And the puck's dropped. It's one forward by the Crusaders. Vikings will take over in their own end at the end boards. Crusaders pick it up there at the near half wall. They'll throw it across. It hits a stick, comes in on net, and now Bizarro will fire in on the forecheck. Bizarro on the puck there, works it up to the near circle. The Vikings will take over. They'll use the boards to escape the zone and work that puck so far as the neutral zone. Taken out of the play there were the Crusaders. The Vikings pick it up, though, in the neutral zone. We get no whistle for that trip. Now the Vikings all the way in. They shoot in near post. It's saved nicely there by Shots, and the Crusaders will have a defensive zone draw upcoming on this one. It's going to be a defensive zone draw here for the Crusaders. They try and win that over to the near half wall. They do. It's touched farther, but not out of the zone. Bizarro on the forecheck forces a pass there, and that's going to be spun around by DiVittorio. Now the puck does exit the zone. Bizarro takes it in stride, touches it deeper into the offensive zone, and bodies his man at the far corner. Puck sits momentarily there. Olsis waiting for that pass. Now it comes into the slot, touched just a bit farther, but it'll be the Crusaders having to reset. They'll hit that puck on down to the end wall and try and set something up to the net front. It hits a skate, goes wide. Vikings look to pick it up in the defensive zone and skate it out. They do. They're across their own blue line. They chip it up through the neutral zone. Long stick there by the Crusaders. Cuts out the play, at least momentarily. It was again DiVittorio getting in the way of that one and breaking up that zone entry. The Crusaders will come right back across. They're at the near circle in their own zone. They set up that play on a diagonal pass all the way into the neutral zone. It's Aaron Leach-Wilson on the forehand looking to pass that to the slide. Throws it there. It sits in the blue paint. It's sticked out only so far as DiVittorio throws in, and that one's gloved down by the Vikings netminder. 12:44 left to play here in the first frame, and it's going to be another offensive zone draw for the Crusaders. Both teams feeling each other out in the early going here, but in terms of chances, it's been all Crusaders thus far, but for the one near post shot, that shot's dead safe. Shot comes in, goes over the cage. Vikings look to pick up in their defensive zone. Pinching in there is Davi. Davi throws that just behind the cage, and now the Crusaders will reset at the far half wall. Puck sits there at the far half wall momentarily. It's sticked wide of the cage from the far point. It's going to escape the zone, so the Crusaders through Davi will track back and set up the play once again. Firing that puck up are the Crusaders. The headman pass doesn't connect. Deflection claimed by the officials, so we play on as icing's waved. Puck racked around to the far side. It's Bizarro keeping the zone, firing back in. And now firing in on that puck on the forecheck is Olses. That puck worked all the way over toward Bizarro from the far half wall. He shoots in, and it's saved again nicely by the Vikings netminder. And so, with 12 minutes even left to go here in the first, we'll get another stoppage in play and an offensive zone draw. Now the Crusaders get ready at that far circle. Try and win this puck back to a forehand stick. They do. It's touched farther to the far point. A nice zone keep there by the Crusaders, streaking into the mid slot on the backhand, thrown in, still loose in the blue paint. Cleared there by the Vikings, and they'll reverse all the way behind their own net to the far corner. Will the men in white and work that puck up, but not out of the zone just yet. It is finally sticked past the blue line, so the Crusaders will reset in the neutral zone. They send that puck all the way up to the blue line. That was Casey Allen with a nice headman pass, and it was just out of the reach of the Vikings, but they do end up with the puck to the Vikings. They come through the neutral zone, they gain the line, they dump on in. Turning now is Allen on the puck. He's able to fake his way into some open ice there. Puck rolls on him momentarily. A nice long stick, though, forces the puck up to the blue line. Not out just yet. Vikings first to this in the near corner. They'll chip it just farther in the near corner. Rolls to the near dot. Look out. Shot thrown just wide of the cage. And now the Vikings look to collect again at the far half wall. Dumped in just a bit farther. The Crusaders trying to get this puck out of the zone. They'll reverse it to the far side of the ice, and they will set up that chip pass all the way past the blue line. Now the Crusaders in the neutral zone. Davi eliminates his man there. Gets a board pound from his team for it. Throws it to the slot. It's cleaned up, though, by the Vikings. No shot coming just yet. Davi with a back check. Takes the puck off his man. Turning now was Campanella to try and gain the zone again. Firing in are the Crusaders. Puck rolls in toward the slot. It's left there momentarily. It was Casey Allen who had gained the zone and left that in the slot for Crusaders forward. The Vikings first to it, though, and they send it all the way back down. It's now the Crusaders setting up in their own zone once again. Crusaders all the way through. It's Leach-Wilson into the offensive zone on the forehand. Shoots in. Deflection takes that wide. Hits the back of the net. Now the Vikings will pick it up at the far side of the ice. They'll rack that all the way out. Arm raised for icing. And we'll get our stoppage in play here with 10:05 remaining in the first period. Well, a lively start to this game. Just about 5 minutes in. Some end-to-end action. So you can put that neutral zone trap in your pocket. Certainly not being used by either team out there, as both teams enjoying some time in the offensive zone. Bizarro cleaning that face-off win up. Shot comes in, chested down there by the Vikings goaltender. Onward we play. Vikings pick up the puck in their own zone. Now through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, but they'll have to delay as they had broken in just a little bit too early without the puck. Didn't want to go offside. They track all the way back to their own zone. Some nice forechecking by Bizarro there. Forces his man deep into the defensive zone. Bizarro looks to take the puck off his man, and the Vikings just chip it out. And so back to retrieve it there will be DiVittorio. DiVittorio on the puck. Sends it over point to point and gets the return pass off the back of the net. And now the Crusaders do break out, but without possession. Vikings have the puck at their own blue line, but they hit Bizarro with the puck, and now Bizarro takes over. He's looking across the ice. Bizarro twirls in. Puck in the blue paint. Sticked nicely there by the Vikings netminder, but not out of trouble just yet. It does roll in again, and it's covered up with 9:10 left to go here in the first period. Now the Vikings goaltender had to be alert there, and he was able to jump on that rolling puck not once but twice, and buy his team a freeze and a stoppage in play. Now ensuing face-off here, it's going to be Jason Radu at the near dot. Radu wins that puck forward, firing in from there is Olsen. Shot comes in. Oh boy, nearly home through the 5-hole. Shut down though by the Vikings netminder, and with a nice zone keep there is Allen as he works that puck just a bit deeper. Turning with the puck are the Crusaders. Vikings all over them. So Olsen is trying to work that toward the slot. Puck rolls all the way up to Dobby, who chips it farther. Rolling puck over to Allen. Allen on the forehand, throws that in. Nearly touched home again by the Crusaders. Instead, the Vikings live to fight another day. That puck's dumped in just a bit farther. Vikings take over in the far corner, and they chip it up past the far point, and the Crusaders will have to reset again as we tick under 8.5 minutes left to go here in the first. It's Dobby gaining the line, dumping on in, and now firing in on the forecheck is Olses. Forces an early pass that Radu is able to turn at the far point. Slapper comes in. Oh, shouldered up and over the cage there by the Vikings goaltender. It's been all Crusaders here for the last 2 minutes or so. Dobby able to send that deeper in the zone, and it's touched farther there by Campanella. Now it'll be the Crusaders on the backhand, trying to throw that into the blue paint. It's sticked up and out by the Vikings. Not out of the zone just yet. Slapper comes in. Rolling puck is loose. Oh, it hits the side of the cage. Crusaders almost home there through Radu. Radu send it over to the far side of the ice. Loading up again are the Crusaders. That one's deflected up into the netting. And boy, oh boy, the Crusaders did everything but find the back of the net on that sequence. Vikings goaltender absolutely on fire in the blue paint and gets some deserved stick taps on the shoulder and the pads there by his teammates. And so ensuing faceoff will be at the far side of the ice. One there by the Vikings. Pizarro on the forecheck forces an early pass, but now it's a 2-on-2 for the Vikings back the other way. They break into the offensive zone. The Vikings do. They load up, but they're pushed wide by DiVittorio. Vikings throw that into the slot with some time and space. Oh, shots with an amazing save to start. Then he's able to stick it out of the blue paint and hop right back up. Ensuing shot comes in, and it's frozen there by the Crusaders. And so, with 7:23 left to go here in the first frame, the Vikings push back, but Schatz stands tall in the blue paint. Now ensuing faceoff there, won by Radu all the way up and out of the zone. It's not going to go across the end line, so no icing coming as we get close to only 7 minutes left here in the first period. It'll be the Vikings with speed through the neutral zone. They go backhand, forehand, touched all the way down toward the end wall, and now it'll be Leach Wilson picking up the puck and skating this up toward the blue line. Puck takes a deflection on the pass, stays in the defensive zone there for the Crusaders. Vikings look to pick up at the end boards. They throw it out front. It's touched farther by the Stars. And that screen shot came in. It went wide of the cage. Vikings, though, keep the zone. They're behind the net. They throw it toward the slot. Can't find a stick until it gets up high. Top of the circle. Shot comes in. Isn't deflected on net. It goes wide. It'll be Leach Wilson on the backhand, able to chip that out of the zone. 6:35 left to play here in the first. It's the Vikings with a nice saucer pass. Two-line pass there into the offensive zone now, but they can't get past Leach Wilson, who turns the puck right the other way into the offensive zone. He's got Pizarro with him, shoots in, high shot, chested down, rolling puck, tapped farther by Pizarro, and then chopped back out to the far circle. Vikings can't escape the zone just yet. They do throw it to the weak side of the ice, though, and with 6:11, they're out, and it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Vikings in the offensive zone, top of the slot, they shoot in. Shots with a great leg save. Puck goes to the far corner, and now it comes to a McClancy player only momentarily at the far circle on the backhand. Soft shot doesn't connect, hits a skate, and now it'll be Radu skating that out of the zone. Into the offensive zone comes Jason Radu. He goes around one man, then two. Rolling puck nearly toward Pizarro. Instead cut out by the Vikings, who will come right back the other way. Vikings now into the offensive zone. It's a 1-on-4. They'll just have to dump as they're making a change behind the play. Puck's going to come up toward Allen, who just jabs it farther. And now the puck comes all the way out of the zone. Vikings will have to reset. They gain the line, dump in. 5:30 left to go here as Allen picks up that puck behind his own net, uses the bumper and glass to get the puck up and out. Vikings, though, right back in on the backhand, trying a one-timer on the far side of the ice. Pizarro will pick it up on the forehand. Dominic Pizarro curls behind his own net, trying to find some time and space. He does. And now it's the Crusaders with some speed, but a nice back check by the Vikings. Sees the puck come right back the other way. It's Davi circling back for the puck. Throws it up and out of the zone. That puck came to Olsey's, hit his skate on the wrong side of the red line if you're a Crusaders fan. So with 5 minutes even left to go here in the first, it's an icing on the away team and a defensive zone draw for those Crusaders. Well, catch your breath. It's been some end-to-end action here, as it looked like the Crusaders had tilted the ice. Then the Vikings pushed right back and had several grade A chances. But shots stood tall, and onward we play here. Under 5 minutes left to go in the first. Shot comes in, sticked aside there by the Vikings goaltender, and then thrown out of the zone. Puck will roll all the way up toward Radu, just sends it farther there. But we're going to get a call for offside as the puck had escaped the Crusaders zone. And so we'll get a stoppage in play here with 4:43 left to go in the first. Just outside the Crusaders zone. They'll take this draw once they get their lines right out there. It's Pepe out there as well now as the left winger. Vikings win that into the offensive zone, and the Crusaders looking to clear that zone. Some long stick work there by Davi. Finds Allen. Allen on the puck. Tries to get over on the forehand. He does. Slapper comes in, goes just wide. Boy, that puck nearly put in. It's going to be a penalty, though, on the Vikings, as there was some interference at the far half wall. So with 4:21 left to go here in the first, we have our first power play of the evening. And although it's zeros on the board, the Crusaders are going to be up a man for the next 2 minutes. Now it's going to be a far circle drop as the Vikings go to the box for 2 minutes here with 4:21 left in the first. And Pizarro calling out the play to those behind him. It'll be DiVittorio moving over to right wing there. And Leach Wilson to take this draw, it looks like. Just waiting for the scorekeeper to get that penalty up on the board before the puck's dropped. 2:21 called out, so perhaps a little difficulty getting that on the scoreboard. Nice zone keep there by Allen. And now it'll be Radu firing in. Screen shot. Shouldered up and over the cage. DiVittorio goes to work behind the cage to try and get this puck out in front. Pizarro in for support. Rolling puck comes to the near corner. Vikings there. They throw it up and out of the zone. And so Allen will track back in the neutral zone on the forehand. He'll delay. Suck in a defender there momentarily. But it'll be the Vikings killing off just a little bit more of this penalty in the offensive zone. Pizarro now tracks back to take the puck off his man. Has a few words for him. Onward we play. It's now Allen circling through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Allen at the top of the slot. He'll delay after the Crusaders have gained the zone. It's Allen on the backhand. Chips it over toward Leach Wilson. Back to Allen looking for the one-timer. Just a little bit out of his reach. That puck is chipped up and over the cage. Now Pizarro tries to get that puck back, and it does roll all the way up to Allen. Allen down to Leach Wilson. Shot comes in. Hits the side of the cage. Looked like it had gone into the fans here, but it's Pizarro working that up to the top of the slot. One-timer comes in. Kicked aside by the Vikings goaltender, and the Vikings able to get that puck out of the zone into the offensive zone, looking for a shorty here, and they shoot in. Shots with the save. It's going to be touched up, but there'll be a penalty call on the Crusaders with 3:05 remaining. We'll have some 4-on-4 hockey upcoming for the next 45 seconds, and then it'll be an abbreviated power play for the Vikings late here in the first period. Now it looks like it's Leach Wilson to the box for 2 minutes here for hooking. And so 4-on-4 hockey upcoming. Radu over the dot, wins that forward. Vikings control. They're at the near point. They shoot in. That hits a body and goes in. Oh, a bad bounce there for the Crusaders, as that took a deflection off a shin pad and beat shots. And just like that, with 3 minutes left in the first, it's the Vikings 1, Crusaders nothing. Well, as you may know at home, because that goal happened at even strength, even though it was 4-on-4 hockey, it's going to remain 4-on-4 hockey until the Vikings player who was in for interference comes out of the box. Well, face off one forward there by Radu. It's chipped up by the Vikings into the offensive zone and then dumped in deep. Vikings looking to send something up into the slot. They curl behind the side of the cage and now to the back, up to the near point come the Vikings. They'll dump that right back down in. Looking to kill off some of this 4-on-4, but they'll shoot in. That one goes wide and high of the cage. Vikings collect, retain possession. They shoot in. A nice kick save there by the Crusaders. Keeps this a one-goal hockey game. Shots doing some work lately here in the first. Crusaders able to clear the zone. A great clear as that one's not going to go all the way down and cross the end line. 4-on-4 hockey would have gone for an icing. And so we play on. It's the Vikings trying to get at that puck out of the zone, but the Crusaders in the way. Aggressive forecheck there by the Crusaders, but the Vikings will reverse and send that up to the neutral zone. 2:08 left to play here. It's 5-on-4 hockey for the Vikings. Crusaders, though, able to keep it out of their defensive zone momentarily. Tracking back are the Crusaders, try and clear the zone again. Instead, the Vikings set up shop at the far half wall, throw that to the slot, looking to get that on the forehand, and they're able to keep the zone. Puck rolls all the way over across the rink. Vikings will dump back in. 1:47 left to play here as that puck comes deep into the offensive zone for the Vikings. They're at the side of the net on the backhand. Shot's able to make a save, but it's going to be swiped in there by the Vikings with 1:39 remaining here in the first. That's a power play goal for the St. Joe's Vikings. And just like that, it's Vikings 2, Crusaders nothing. Well, still 99 seconds left to go here in the first period. A lot of hockey left to play. The Crusaders certainly had the better of this game for the first 7 minutes or so. They'll look to get back to tilting the ice now that it's 5-on-5 hockey. It's Pizarro at the dot, winning that faceoff, controlling right at the logo, and then two Vikings able to separate him from the puck. Puck rolls all the way toward Leach Wilson, who skates with it. Goes around two men so far. He gets on the forehand. Rolling puck comes in. Tight angle shot. He shoots. He scores. Well, Aaron Leach Wilson on the forehand. Tight angle. Able to go off the bottom of the Vikings goaltender's glove and break the seal here with 1:26 left to play in the first. All of a sudden, it's Vikings 2, Crusaders 1. Now it'll be Radu at the dot to take this faceoff. Now that the Crusaders have cut this Vikings lead in half. He wins that forward. Pizarro fires in on the forecheck. It's Pizarro delaying momentarily on that forecheck. Holsis on the left wing, able to receive that pass back down from Leach Wilson and dump it deeper into the zone. Puck sits at the end wall. Pizarro takes it off a skate and leaves it there. It's now the Vikings trying to pick this up and jam it out of the zone. Puck sits at the near half wall, and now it's Radu working that back up for Leach Wilson. Look out, slapper comes in. It's blockered up and over the cage, and so Allen will pinch in to keep the zone. Vikings eventually take over at the far half wall and get that puck out of the zone. It's Leach Wilson skating with speed. 47 seconds left to go. He'll turn in his own zone, work that puck up through the neutral zone. Vikings will take over at their own blue line. It's the Vikings working that up to the strong side of the ice, and it rolls to Leach Wilson again. He's got the puck with 35 seconds left to go. He sends that on a headman pass, but it's going to miss everybody. And so with 30.3 left to go here in the first, it's going to be a defensive zone draw on an icing infraction for the Crusaders. Well, just a half a minute left to go in the first period here from Abe Stark. And the Crusaders win that faceoff back to Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson on the puck. He's got two men on him, but he throws it on the forehand up toward Pizarro. Does enough to chip it out of the zone. Radu also there on the forecheck. He's able to body his man off the puck near the boards. No call coming. It was called for from the Vikings bench. But the arms stay down for the officials. Just 7 seconds left to go here in the first. Vikings will dump that puck in just a bit deeper. And it'll roll toward the side of the cage. And that'll do it for the first period here from Abe Stark Sports Center in Coney Island, Brooklyn. After one, it's the St. Joe's Vikings 2. The McClancy Crusaders 1. Stick around. We're going to put 15 minutes on the board. Do it all over again in just a moment right here on Midnight Sports. All right, we're getting set here for the start of the second period at Abe Stark, and we've got a special guest joining us. It's Sophia, who's going to do a little color commentary for us here in the middle frame, if we can talk her into it. But first, it's the Crusaders winning that faceoff for a down a goal here, pushing in this period of the long change. The Vikings coming right back the other way. The Vikings on the forehand, they shoot in just wide of the cage. They'll pick it up again, will the Vikings, at the near half wall. They'll touch that puck farther at the end boards, but it's Radu emerging with it, at least momentarily. The Vikings take back over at the bottom of the far circle. They throw it there, but it's shots in the way. It goes off him and in. Well, just 28 seconds into this middle frame. Vikings able to find that rolling puck at the top of the blue paint and increase their lead back to 2. It's Vikings 3, Crusaders 1, despite what the scoreboard says right now. Sophia, thanks so much for joining us. What do you think of the game so far tonight?
There's been a lot of action.
There sure has been a lot of action. Agreed. Looks like the clock's still going as well, so it's a first for a lot of folks here tonight. In any event, what's been your favorite part of the game so far? Not sure just yet. That's okay. There's still a lot of hockey left to play. So your favorite part might be coming up later. Who knows? It's the Crusaders at center ice, working that puck all the way across the ice, trying to dump into the offensive zone. The Vikings will take over at their own blue line. Only so far as Bizarro streaks in, rolling puck, couldn't settle it down, and it's poke checked off his stick by 2 Vikings, who will come right back the other way through the neutral zone with some speed, but only so far as Leach Wilson jabs that up toward Bizarro. Bizarro on the puck at the offensive blue line, tries to dangle a man, and he picks up the puck once again. Bizarro on the puck, throws it farther down in, and the Vikings do clear it off their own man to the neutral zone. It's now Radu pouring in the offensive zone. He finds Leach Wilson, dances around one man. On the backhand comes Leach Wilson. He tries to go to the forehand. Backhand, though, touched home. That's a Crusaders goal. It's Leach Wilson who notches his second up there. And with 13:33 left to go in this second period, it's the Vikings 3, Crusaders 2. Well, Radu takes that ensuing faceoff, wins it forward, and the puck's going to roll at the logo once again and come to a Viking who gains the zone. Vikings into the zone now. On the forehand, they're bodied there. We're going to get a penalty call, though. It looks like on Radu, who's going to go for roughing. So with 13:20 left here in the middle frame, it's Radu for roughing. To the box for 2 minutes. Gets an explanation from the official. Seems satisfied with it. And so it's going to be a defensive zone draw here for the Crusaders. Well, Sophia, do you know any of the players on the Crusaders?
Yeah, I know Dominic.
Any funny stories to share to the audience? No, you're not going to sell them out like that, huh? Well, we appreciate that kind of loyalty. I get it. And I'm sure Dominic appreciates it as well. It's Davi getting that puck up and out of the zone past the blue line. And Bizarro on the forecheck on this penalty kill for the folks in red. That puck looked like it came across the blue line, but we get the safe sign, so no offside going to be called on this one, as Olsis is able to work that puck to the far corner. Rolls up, and Schatz does enough to get the leg pad in front of that one as it rolled wide of the cage. Crusaders desperate to get this puck out of the zone now. It's tapped up at the near half wall, not out just yet. Turning for the puck is Davi. On the forehand, he's going to use the dasher to rack that all the way around. Good zone keep, though, by the Vikings at the far side of the ice. 12:30 left to play here. Shot comes in, hits a skate. Not out of the zone just yet for the Crusaders. Once again, Vikings work that deeper behind the net on the backhand, looking for something in front. They're going to be pushed all the way up to the near point. Look out, shot comes in, takes a deflection, never reaches the goal mouth, and now it'll be Bizarro picking that puck up, sending it off the Vikings bench there, and Bizarro will go check on the coaches that he fired that puck into. Little fist pound clears up any sort of confusion as to what happened there, and we'll get a stoppage in play with 12:09 remaining here in the second period. Crusaders will get 4 new skaters out there on the killer, at least 3. Looks like Bizarro will stay. Leach Wilson out there now. Bizarro wins it over toward him in the near corner. And Leach Wilson able to fire that puck up and out of the zone. It took a deflection on its way out. So the Vikings goaltender will come out and play it. But it's Bizarro firing that across the ice. And he was looking for Campanella. The Vikings will take over again. Crusaders still on the penalty kill here as the Vikings come through the neutral zone. Vikings gain the offensive zone. Leach Wilson will turn to pick up that puck on the forehand. He's got some space out there. Uses the glass to send that right back up and out. No arm raised here as that puck's going to cross the end line, and it's Bizarro on the forecheck watching his man behind the net. It's the Vikings now trying to escape the defensive zone. They do as the Vikings break into the offensive zone. They go forehand, backhand shot, shuts that one down, and it's the Vikings firing it in again, and shots again equal to the task. And so with 11:17 remaining here in the second period, it'll be a defensive zone draw, but we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. So the Crusaders successfully kill that penalty off, and they'll look, now that they're even on the ice, to get even on the scoreboard early on in this second frame. It's Leach Wilson banging that up to the near point. Vikings able to keep the zone on that rolling puck. They send it right back across. It's touched farther as the Crusaders look to be off to the races through James Pepe. Instead, it's the Crusaders now dumping in off the stick of Radu. Radu gets the return pass. He loads up, shoots just wide of the cage. And so now it's Campanella and Radu, as well as DiVittorio, trying to track that puck down in the offensive zone. Vikings have it there. DiVittorio pushes his man into an early pass into the slot. Rolling puck just escapes the zone, and now the Vikings look to take over. Instead, the Crusaders, through Radu, have it in their own zone. Puck touched up toward the blue line. Heavy hit there by the Vikings. He sees the puck come all the way back into the Vikings defensive zone. Rolling puck again kept in the zone there by the Crusaders, at least momentarily, but we're going to get a call here, it looks like. It's going to be a hand pass, no penalty coming. 10:25 remaining here in the second period, and it's going to be an offensive zone draw. It'll be Radu to take this draw. Bizarro to his right, and he looks to win it over toward him. He kicks it up, and the puck's going to come to Allen. Tries one shot, then two. Rolling puck comes in, chipped farther. Bizarro nearly banks it off the back of the Vikings goaltender. Instead, slapper comes in there from Allen. Puck rolls just a bit on the Crusaders. It's going to leave the zone, and so Allen back for cover at center ice. Delayed offside is washed out as Bizarro comes back into the zone. Oh, nearly potted off the glove of the Vikings netminder. Instead, it went high and over the cage. It's now Radu working hard to shovel that out of the near half wall and on down. He does, on down to Olsis. Olsis with the puck at the end boards, trying to work it up toward Radu. Radu takes that pass on the backhand, works it up to the near point. It's Allen trying to buy some time and space to get that shot off. He'll pinch on down, and then a nice no-look backhander toward Radu. Puck rolls on him. Ice Monster gobbled that puck up, and so the Vikings will escape the zone. It's 3-on-2 if they hurry. A 2-on-2 developing. The Vikings will just have to dump in, as they did spend a lot of time in their zone and may look to make a change here behind the plate. It's going to be the Crusaders breaking on out. It's Radu into the offensive zone. On the forehand, tries to dangle his man, goes through his legs, throws that back toward the slot. Nobody home for the Crusaders. And with 9:07, we play on here. It's the Vikings on the puck. But Bizarro comes away with it, throws it into the slot. Bouncing puck couldn't be corralled there. And so it's thrown back into the slot once again there by Radu. Vikings look to emerge with it. Bizarro bodies his man in the near corner. Shot comes in off Davi's stick. Bizarro gets that rebound, tries to throw it right back out to the slot. Vikings in the way, and they'll escape the defensive zone here across their own blue line and shoot in to the far corner. Bouncing puck's going to come over to Davi. Davi told by Allen to fire that all the way up ice as the Vikings were making a change. Bizarro able to deflect that puck into the offensive zone, so no icing coming, but onward we play as the Vikings take over at the near half wall. Vikings work that puck up and out of their zone. They'll fire in, but off Allen's hand, and so unable to get that puck deep, and now it's Bizarro off to the races. He delays as it's one-on-one at the end of a shift. He'll just fire in. Looking for that shot rebound over toward Ulsis. Instead, it's gobbled up by the Vikings netminder. So with 8:16 left to go here in the second, it's an offensive zone draw for the Crusaders. Well, Sophia, have you done much ice skating?
Somewhat.
Yeah, a little bit here and there?
Yeah, here and there.
All right, well, I think you're more at risk of being drafted out there to play this game than I am. You've probably done more skating than I have. In any event, it's the Crusaders getting a shot on goal. Can't put it past this Vikings goaltender just yet, but a spinorama there by Allen. Hits a man just in front of the cage, and the Vikings are able to get this puck out of the zone. It's now DiVittorio working that over for Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson on the puck through the neutral zone, goes backhand to forehand, looking to load up. Tight angle shot again off the goaltender, off a post into the netting, but not the netting the Crusaders wanted. And so it'll just be an offensive zone draw as that puck went out of play. Crusaders will take this at the far side of the ice. 7:46 remaining to go here in the second period. It's 5-on-5 hockey, still down a goal. Are the skaters in red. Crusaders win that face-off in, try a quick shot. It's deflected wide into the far corner. And so spinning with the puck are the Vikings. Vikings behind their own net. That one's going to be gobbled up, though, by the Crusaders. And it was James Pepe again doing the work on that forecheck, forcing a reverse pass. The Vikings will break out on the weak side. Vikings all the way through the neutral zone, into the offensive zone. They shoot, but that shot's deflected up into the netting. A good stick by Leach Wilson prevents that one from getting in on goal. And so with 7:21 left to go here in the middle frame, defensive zone draw upcoming for the Crusaders. It'll be Radu winning that face-off back. Now the Crusaders look to chip that puck up and out of the zone, unable to do so on the first try. So DiVittorio all over his man on the far side of the ice, able to separate him from the puck. And now Casey Allen steps in. Into the offensive zone he comes, protects the puck on the backhand, shoots it, saved by the Vikings netminder. And the Vikings now have a 3-on-1, maybe a 3-on-2 the other way. Across the ice, they shoot in. Oh, that puck just crossed the line. Shots with the initial save, but the puck trickled right across the line. Just a game of inches there for the Vikings. They're able to pot that one and make this a 4-2 hockey game with 6:53 left to go here in the second. Well, it was nearly a miracle save there by Schatz, as he was able to get out in front of that one. But the puck trickled just across the line, and so now the Crusaders will get their personnel right. Down 2 goals with 6:53 left to play here in the second period. The Vikings will have to delay so as not to go offside. They chip it all the way across the ice back to their blue line, and they'll reload and throw it on into the offensive zone, but without possession. It's Davi tracking back for that puck. Davi on the puck, sends it up toward Bizarro, tries to get that puck out of the zone. He does. Vikings will take over in their defensive zone, but only so far as Radu. Radu in on the forehand, tries to feather it past the goaltender, and the goaltender makes another good save. Bizarro gums up that zone exit. Bizarro on the puck. He's got 2 men on him. Puck rolls to the far circle, and now it is swiped out by the Vikings. Davi tracks back for that puck. It's Davi working that puck behind his net on over toward Allen. Allen picks it up there, throws it up into the neutral zone, and now it's Radu with the puck in the offensive zone. Rolls toward the slot. Bizarro able to get in the way of that one. It's Bizarro now on the puck, working that just over to the far side of the ice. Puck rolls at the far circle, and it's going to be tapped out of the zone by the Vikings, who will come right back the other way. Bad cross-ice pass, though, hits a skate. Puck comes back into the zone, and it will be the Crusaders trying to dump it in deeper. Instead, the Vikings clear the zone once again. So Allen gets on his horse, picks up the puck on the forehand. He's now below the goal line on the forehand, trying to throw that toward the net front, and the Vikings instead gum up that play. Bouncing puck goes to the far half wall. Not out of the zone just yet. Radu sprints over to try and keep the zone. The Vikings, though, break the other way. Vikings in on a mini break, and they shoot. And that shot goes wide of the cage. Bouncing puck off the back netting. The Crusaders look to get this out of the zone. They do. Crusaders all the way through the neutral zone there. Rolling puck comes to a Viking stick. 5:13 left to play here in the middle frame. Allen has that puck at the far side of the ice. He throws it over toward Bizarro. Bizarro delays, has that puck roll off his backhand as two Vikings men had converged on him. It's St. Joe's breaking out through center ice with some speed. Davi back, doesn't get dangled, gets the big stick in the way, and it'll be Charlie Davi coming right back the other way. Davi through center ice on the forehand, throws that on net. It's kicked aside by the Vikings netminder, and bodies go flying. It's now the Vikings looking to breaking out of their zone again. They do only so far as Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson on the puck, hold delay, right at center ice, and then gain the zone. Leach Wilson trying to go backhand forehand. He shoots in, and it's saved nicely there by the Vikings goaltender with 4:27 left to go here in the middle frame. Now, Sophia, any favorite parts yet? Or still considering? You want to see the whole body of work before you pick what your favorite part is?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, a couple of excellent goals by both teams here. So if you're going to pick one of those, you'd be in good company. In any event, ensuing shot goes right up into the netting on a deflection. And so we'll get another stoppage in play with 4:21 left to go here in the middle frame. It'll be Radu to take this drop when the puck is dropped. Campanella to his right. Leach Wilson behind. Puck is shot in off the faceoff, and now Olsis fires in on the forecheck. DiVittorio able to keep the zone there with a big slapper that goes just wide. Hitting starting to pick up behind the cage here as DiVittorio able to flick that puck in once again, and it's Olsis laying the shoulder into his man to try and separate him from the puck. Rolling puck comes up toward Radu, works it up to the point. DiVittorio looks across for Leach Wilson. Instead, feathers an Ephus pitch in. Nearly fooled everybody as that one just went wide of the cage. And so it'll be the Crusaders trying to keep the zone, but the Vikings chip that one out. It's going to go all the way down, and an arm raise for icing as it crosses the end line with 3:41 remaining here on the clock in the second period. It's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Crusaders. Crusaders will make a personnel change out there. Get some new forwards on the ice. And the back line will be Allen and Davi. Leach Wilson to take this at the dot. He's got Bizarro to his left and Campanella to his right. Puck one back toward Davi. Davi to Allen. Allen shoots in, hits a skate, goes wide. And so now it's the Crusaders firing that in, but it's gloved down once again by the Vikings. And we'll get a stoppage in play here with 3:32 left in the second period. Now the Vikings look to try and get set up in their own zone. Leach Wilson wins that faceoff. Shot comes in, hits a skate, and onward we play here. The Vikings trying to escape the zone. It's sticked farther there, though, by the Crusaders, and then it finally does roll out where Davi will pick it up. Davi over toward Allen. Allen returns the pass to Davi. Davi tries to send that farther. He does. He finds Campanella, dumps that puck on in. It's Bizarro and Leach Wilson on the forecheck now as the Crusaders start to press just a little bit to try and get something on the scoreboard to cut this lead in half. It's Davi over toward Allen. Allen finds Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson with speed through the middle into the offensive zone. He goes around his man there on the back end. He throws it over toward Bizarro. Oh, post to post there was the Vikings netminder, and it was an amazing play by him to get from the near post to the far post to shut down Bizarro, who thought he was in. So with 2:47 remaining here in the second period, it's an offensive zone draw as the net had come off its moorings there for the Crusaders. It'll be Leach Wilson to take this drop. Campanella again to his right. And the puck's going to leave the zone as the Vikings come into the offensive zone. Davi back, pushes his man wide. Some good stick and skate work by him. Sees that puck go to the far corner. Bizarro now laying the wood as well as the Vikings try to dump that puck in just a bit deeper. They do to the far half wall and now to the end boards. And so it'll be the Vikings trying to throw that in front. Allen with a good stick, though, cuts out the initial pass. Then the puck hits the blue paint momentarily. The Vikings will send that rolling puck all the way back in. The Vikings at the far corner trying to load up at that far circle. Instead, They're to the far point. Shot comes in, and Schatz is there to gobble that one up. No rebound coming. 2:07 remaining here in the second period. Now DiVittorio back out there on the ice now. That'll be the only personnel change for this drop in the defensive zone. That's Allen winning that back to Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson on the puck, works that up off a skate, not out of the zone just yet. He'll skate it himself out of the zone, across the blue line, across the red line, across the blue line again. He's on the forehand, he'll delay, throwing that toward the slot, looking for Pizarro. It hit a skate though, and went wide, did that pass. So now the Vikings fire in, trying to take the puck off Leach Wilson, and reverses over to Pizarro. Pizarro picks it up, throws it to the slot, nobody home there for the Crusaders. And now it will be the Vikings into the offensive zone on the forehand. They shoot in. Schatz able to make the save. Thinks about playing that puck out. Instead, though, the Vikings man too close to him. So with 1:32 remaining here in the second period, it's a defensive zone draw. Now it'll be Allen to take this on his strong side at the dot. He's going to have Ulsis to his right as well as Radu. Wins that puck over toward Davi. Sticked farther there by Ulsis out of the zone. Davi goes skate to stick. Gains the offensive zone. He's in all alone. On the forehand, loads up. He's going to get a penalty drawn on him there. Able to draw the penalty was Davi as the sticks got under his hands right when he was about to take a shot, asking about a penalty shot. Instead, though, it's going to be 2 for hooking. And so down 2 goals, but up a man for the next 2 minutes with 1:18 left to go here in the middle frame are the Crusaders. And they'll look to cut this lead in half. Crusaders looking to get their personnel right. And so it'll be Davi, Leach Wilson, Pizarro. Looks like Allen and Radu out there as the 5 players on the power play for the Crusaders. That face-off win comes up and out of the zone, and now it's a race. Leach Wilson back for the puck. Gives up the outside, takes the inside, able to work his man off the puck and work it all the way on up. It's now the Crusaders with a 3-on-2 here if they hurry. Pizarro breaks into the zone, and he looks for the Allen pass. Can't quite make it all the way across the ice. The Crusaders instead will set up shop here in the offensive zone. They work that down low for Davi. It hits a stick, goes wide, and the Vikings will clear the zone. It was a good play there by Allen to settle the puck in the offensive zone and try and set up shop. And that's exactly what the Crusaders did, but for one stick getting in the way. And so with 40 seconds left in the second, Crusaders will try and set it up again. Drop pass all the way back to Leach Wilson. Comes across here for Pizarro on the near side. Pizarro will delay, gains the zone. He's got a man all over him. He looks for the open Crusaders player instead. He takes a hit to work it over toward Davi. Davi finds Allen, and Allen settles that puck again on the forehand. Throws it back for Pizarro. Couldn't settle that puck. Works it back up for Leach Wilson, who fires in. And that's saved there by the Vikings goaltender with 15.9 remaining here in the second frame. It will be an offensive zone draw for the Crusaders. Leach Wilson at the dot, wins it over to Pizarro, shepherds it up to Allen. Allen on the puck there. Allen stops, delays, works it down for Leach Wilson. 10 seconds left to go here in the second period. Thrown in, loose puck there. Radu fires in, and it's gloved down once again by the Vikings goaltender. And so with 4.4 remaining to go here in the second, Crusaders will have one more bite at this apple, this time at the far circle. Same 5 skaters will stay out there for the skaters in red. It's Allen to take this drop. Ties up his man, but the Vikings happy to see out the rest of this period. As the puck comes up, shot comes in. It's gloved down anyway there by the Vikings goaltender. And so, after 2 here at the Abe Stark Sports Center in Coney Island, Brooklyn, it's the St. Joe's Vikings 4, the McClancy Crusaders 2. Stick around. We're going to put 15 more minutes on the board. Do it all over again in just a moment, right here on Midnight Sports. Well, as we get set here for the third period, Sophia, you're at Robert F. Wagner, right?
Yeah.
And what do you study there?
Nothing specific, nothing targeted directly.
Okay. Do you know what you want to study when you get to college?
Probably nursing.
Oh, very good. Okay. All right. Well, a nursing play-by-play and color commentator for hockey. I bet that's not a combination you hear of too often. So we're just thrilled that you're joining us right here on Midnight Sports. Third period's kicked off. Still 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Crusaders. We're trying to get some more shots on goal and find that twine behind the Vikings netminder. Shot comes in, kicked aside. Ensuing shot goes off the crossbar as the goal was moving. And so we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here as the clock continues to tick. And now it'll stop at 14:10 left to go here in the final period. Crusaders need 2 goals to even this one up. It's really been a goaltender's duel out there as both goaltenders have had a fantastic game. As indicated by the scoreboard, just a 4-2 high school hockey game. And now the Vikings told to return to the ice as they were making a late line change. Even though they're the home team, the officials getting a little frustrated with some late line changes here. So they'll keep players on the ice despite the fact that they wanted to go. And now the Viking centerman kicked out of the circle too as a penalty for that late change. Deflected shot comes in, nearly knocked in and home. Looked like it was across the line. It's safe though, according to the officials. And then the ensuing shot comes in again. Bouncing puck in the blue paint. Stick farther and we're gonna get some after action after that puck needed to be dug out from under the goaltender equipment. Players just having a conversation there about all that after action. And so with 13:58 left to go here in the third period, Sophia, any guesses as to what those players might have been saying to each other there after the whistle went?
Not sure, but looked intense.
It did look intense. I totally agree. And maybe discretion is the better part of valor on that one. This would quickly turn from a G-rated hockey program into an R-rated movie if we repeated some of the language that was likely said there in the blue paint. In any event, puck comes all the way over to the far half wall on that faceoff, and it'll be DiVittorio coming up that zone entry with some help from Allen. It's Leach Wilson taking over. He dodges a big hit there at his own blue line, able to gain the offensive zone. He shoots in, shrugged off by the Vikings goaltender, and we play on. It's now the Vikings working that over to the near corner, chipping it up off the glass as the pace is picked up just a little bit here at Abe Stark with 13:29 left. That puck out of play into the Vikings bench should be a defensive zone draw for the home team. Now it'll be Olsis, and Leach Wilson out there as the forwards, along with Campanella and DiVittorio and Allen as the defender. Shot comes in, and it goes just wide. Allen was looking for a deflection there in the mid slot. Crusaders couldn't locate it at first. Now the puck comes into the neutral zone. Allen will delay, work that over for Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson finds Campanello, dumps that puck on in. It's the Vikings now turning in the defensive zone, picking up the puck on the forehand, working it up to the near half wall. They'll skate it deeper into their zone, though, to try and buy some more time and open ice. The Vikings working that puck up. The one-touch breakout doesn't work. And now it's the Crusaders in, unable to send that in on goal, though. Some good defensive work by the Vikings. Swing pass goes right across the blue paint. Nobody home. DiVittorio able to work that puck farther. Now Leach Wilson works his man over in the far corner. Is able to get that puck to the end boards. And just a few words exchanged there. It looks like it's going to be a slash, though, on Leach Wilson. As he had bodied a man over there, he was thrown off the puck and tried to take that stick and work it toward the end wall. Instead, he's going to the box here for a slash as his man had the stick knocked out of his hands. And so 12:38 left to go here. Crusaders down 2 goals, down a man for the next 2 minutes. It'll be a defensive zone draw for them, with Radu taking it at the far circle. Bizarro, Davi, and DiVittorio out there as well. Puck one up to the far point, and now the Vikings, control. Vikings at the top of the slot. They walk the line. They throw it in just a little bit lower. It's at the end wall. And the Vikings will dance around looking for that slot pass. Bizarro there first, able to skate that puck. Out of the zone is Bizarro and chip it farther off a man into the offensive zone. Bizarro picks it up shorthanded, goes around the goaltender, couldn't pull the trigger at the very end. It was the slush monster to the side of the goal that gobbled that puck up, and Bizarro couldn't pull the trigger. Now the Vikings come in, they shoot, they score. Well, just like that, it's a 2-goal swing after the slush monster gets the Crusaders. The Vikings pot on the power play. With 12:04 remaining in this game, it's now Vikings 5, Crusaders 2. Well, all that snow and slush to the side of the Vikings goal just cleared by the Vikings goaltender. So certainly the man in the blue paint knew all the home bounces there. And we'll just get a mouthpiece delay momentarily here as the players get all their equipment right. 12:04 remaining here from Abe Stark as the Crusaders look to try and change those numbers on the scoreboard in their favor. It's the Vikings working that up out of their zone up to Davi. Davi fires that puck back into the offensive zone. It's DiVittorio now on the puck. He'll dump in just a bit deeper, hits a man there, and Leach Wilson will fire in, try and pick up that puck off his man. He does get to it first, throws it toward the slot. Allen spinning on the backhand, hits a man with that shot. Puck's going to roll up toward Davi. Davi fires in. It goes just wide of the cage, and so it will be Radu sending that puck across the ice. Touched home there, Radu for Allen. And the Crusaders get one right back with 11:28 left to go in this game. Don't go anywhere. A lot of hockey remaining to be played as Radu able to fire that puck for the Allen one-timer. And just like that, it's Vikings 5, Crusaders 3. It'll be Radu, Bizarro, and Olsis as the 3 forwards. Puck rolls back toward Allen. And Allen picks it up at his own blue line on the pass from Bizarro. Allen fires that over toward Radu. Radu feathers one up toward Olsis. Olsis gains the zone. Bizarro streaking down the slot. Olsis upended there. No arm raised for that big hit. Olsis gets right back up and gives it as good as he got. Puck comes up toward Davi. Fires that in just wide of the cage. 11 minutes even left to go here. And the puck's going to come into the neutral zone. Bizarro on the back check, able to body his man once and twice. And the rolling puck's going to come over toward Allen. Allen with speed behind his own net at the far circle. Able to get that puck all the way out of the zone. It's Bizarro taking over that puck now into the offensive zone. Bizarro kicks that puck farther into the offensive zone, but the Vikings will escape on the weak side. Now the Vikings on the puck at center ice. They gain the line, they dump in on net. That puck's going to be spilled wide of the cage. Shots does just enough to send that on the wrong side of the post if you're a Vikings fan. And so now the Vikings will take over at the local. They gain the line all the way toward the blue line. But there are the Crusaders to get that puck up and out of the zone through Campanella. Now Leach Wilson takes over. He's at the slot on the forehand. Leach Wilson shoots and scores. Oh boy, oh boy. With 10:07 left to go, Leach Wilson breaks into the offensive zone on the forehand, goes top shelf, and cuts this lead to 1. It's Vikings 5, Crusaders 4. All right, Sophia, tell me, any predictions for how this one's going to end up? We've got 10 minutes and 7 seconds left to go.
Hard to tell, but hopefully either tie or be ahead of the game.
All right. Well, we're going to check back in on that prediction as this clock ticks a little bit lower. It's the Crusaders working that out of the defensive zone into the offensive zone. The Crusaders on the forehand there. Low circle. They try and dangle around a man. It hits a skate, though, and goes wide. And so getting on back is Allen as the Vikings break into the offensive zone. It's now the Vikings at the side of the net. They throw that in. It goes wide toward the side of the cage. It's Allen getting the stick in the way over toward Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson sends that pass up to himself, not once but twice, breaks in. He's on a mini break as Leach Wilson on the backhand, circles around and scores. Oh boy, 9:25 left to go in this game, and all of a sudden it's all tied up. Here at the Abe Stark Sports Center, it's Leach Wilson on the backhand, rounding the goaltender and touching that one home. Well, St. Joe's and McClancy tied at 5 here, late on a Friday night in South Brooklyn. Pizarro trying to corral that face-off win. Rolling puck comes into the slot, though, and the Vikings able to score right back on that rolling puck. And so 9:19 left to go here in the third period. It's now Vikings 6, Crusaders 5. Now a little bit of a discussion between the Crusaders as to how the Vikings were able to gain the zone there. And they look to get that worked out so it doesn't happen again. Face-off comes all the way back to the Crusaders' blue line, but it's Leach Wilson and Pizarro breaking into the offensive zone. Leach Wilson takes a little bit of a hit there at the offensive blue line, and so the Vikings will come right back the other way. It's the Vikings into the zone. They send that all the way wide. On the forehand, they shoot. That puck loose and touched home once again. Shots with the initial save, but the Vikings pour it on there on the near side of the ice. And with 9 minutes even left to go in this game, it's now St. Joe's Vikings 7, McClancy Crusaders 5. Now it'll be Leach Wilson at the dot. Try and win this face-off. He's got Allen and Pizarro out there on the near side of the ice. Comes back to DiVittorio, who works that puck farther for Radu. Puck's dumped in by the Vikings, who will look to kill off some of this game now that we tick under 9 minutes left to play with their 2-goal lead. It's Radu trying to get that puck out of the zone. Comes back to DiVittorio, rolling puck over to Allen. Allen on the puck on the forehand will chip that farther toward Radu. Radu there takes it a little deeper into the zone to try and buy some time and space. Rolling puck at the end boards, comes all the way up toward Allen. Allen on the puck on the backhand. He'll find Leach Wilson. He'll dump that puck in. Comes all the way over to the near side. Pizarro there first. Throws that into the slot for Leach Wilson on the backhand. Shot doesn't get through. And now the Vikings look to send that puck up and out of the zone. Rolling puck comes up to DiVittorio. Sends that in just a bit deeper. It's thrown around to the weak side. The Vikings will escape the zone that way. The Vikings with a little bit of speed, but Allen with some good stick work able to take the puck off his man and send that back into the offensive zone, at least momentarily. Rolling puck comes up to Leach Wilson on the wrong side of the blue line there for the Crusaders. So with 8 minutes even left to go in this one, it's offside on the visitors and a stoppage in play. Now it'll be Radu to take this drop. He wins that forward. Vikings touch it right back out of the zone, and Allen will go pick up this puck in his own end. He surveys his options, works that up strong side for Radu. Radu on his horse on the left wing, curls toward the slot, trying to work that puck over. Oh, the one touch doesn't work for Olsis. And so the Vikings live to fight another day on that. Puck comes up to the near half wall, and taking a big hit there was, looks like Campanella maybe. Nope. Well, we'll see. In any event, a little slow to get up, but now up to his knees, which is what you like to see. The health and safety of the players paramount out there, much more so than the score line. So we'll have a little stoppage in play here with 7:34 remaining in the third period. Up and skating on his own power to his bench is the Crusaders man after what was a bang-bang play at the blue line. Looked to just be a little bit shaken up, but hopefully no worse for the wear. And we hope to see Campanella back out there very soon. Now it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Crusaders, because on that hit, the penalty was called on the Vikings. So the Vikings to the box for 2 minutes, presumably for interference at the blue line. The Vikings do win that ensuing faceoff, and they're going to have a breakaway coming the other way. Vikings all the way into the offensive zone, and they're able to score. Well, that's a shorty for the Vikings with 7:25 remaining here in the third period. It's now Vikings 8, Crusaders 5. Well, that was a chipped puck up, and then just a bit of an eephus pitch in. Slow roller to the 5-hole. And that's tough for a goaltender who's trying to get post to post out there to cover the entire net. Might not expect the Spanish Inquisition, but you definitely don't expect the slow roller 5-hole. Puck now rolls into the slot. Shot goes just wide. Di Vittorio tries to pick it up at the far side of the ice. Shuts down the far post. And now it'll be the Crusaders getting that puck up and out of the zone. Allen with speed. He's got Pizarro ahead of him now. Pizarro down a little bit low. Uses him as a decoy. Throws that in, and it's saved nicely by the Vikings netminder. Still 1:26 remaining on the man advantage for the Crusaders. 7 minutes even left to go in this game. And the Vikings sitting on a 3-goal lead. Now it'll be Di Vittorio, Allen. Looks like Leach Wilson, Pizarro, and Radu out there as the 5 skaters on the power play. Leach Wilson and Di Vittorio fire in. Radu able to keep the zone, jam that just a bit deeper, looking for Pizarro in the low slot. Vikings 2 at first, and they throw it out of the zone. It's the Crusaders picking it up at center ice, throwing that puck in just a bit deeper, but the Vikings able to turn it the other way. Allen will pick it up in his own zone. He'll curl around. He's beaten 2 men now. Skates through the neutral zone, does Allen into the offensive zone. Allen there leaves it for Leach Wilson on the forehand, and it's deflected and sits there momentarily until the Vikings are able to clear the zone. It's Radu tracking back for the puck. He's on the puck on the forehand. Will go forehand, backhand, and then send it over toward Di Vittorio. Di Vittorio returns the pass to Radu. Radu up for Allen. Allen able to jam that puck out of the zone. 37 seconds left to go on the man advantage as the Vikings dump right back in. They've hit the back of the net on the bounce off the end boards. Di Vittorio with a nifty move throws that up toward Pizarro. Pizarro sends it up to Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson on the puck, sends it across the ice for Allen. Allen tries to return the pass to Leach Wilson, just a little bit behind, and so we play on. Puck comes up toward Radu, just past him. Icing waved with 11 seconds left to go in the man advantage. Probably one more time for the Crusaders to load up in the offensive zone here. They break toward the blue line. It's touched farther, but the Vikings throw it right back out. And so Di Vittorio takes over, works it up toward Leach Wilson, but instead it'll be the Vikings coming the other way. It's a 2-on-0 for the Vikings. They shoot in, go top shelf and score. Well, St. Joe's increases their lead here with 5:26 remaining. It's the Vikings 9, the Crusaders 5. Well, it looks like it'll be Davi to take this drop. He's got Olsis to his left. Radu, Campanella on the right side there, and Leach Wilson back at the blue line. Vikings will come forward. They fire in. That's going to go wide of the cage. And it will be the Crusaders picking that puck up and getting it up and out of the zone toward Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson into the offensive zone. He goes around 1 man and 2, tries to beat the goaltender at the last second. It's kicked aside. A wonderful save. It's Olsis on the puck. Fires that one in. Hits a body in front. Never got through. 5 minutes remaining to go here as the puck comes up toward Campanella. Hits the side of the cage on the backhanded shot. Vikings send that over to the far point. And that puck's going to roll out of the zone. It's Olsis tracking back. Big reverse hit there right in front of the advertising boards. And so it's Davi taking over and dumping on in. Olsis gets some applause from his teammates on the bench. It's now the Crusaders throwing the bodies around in the offensive zone. That puck's going to roll across the blue line, though, and come up toward Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson returns that pass toward Davi. Davi tries to go around a man. Instead, the Vikings in the way, and so Crusaders, though, able to keep the zone. It's Campanella leaving that puck just a bit deeper until the Vikings throw it out of the zone, and tracking back for it is Radu. Radu first to the puck on the forehand, makes his man make a decision as to which side he was going to try and go around him, and spins the other way. A nifty move there by Jason Radu on the forehand, comes all the way and tries the short side, shut down by the Vikings goaltender. Pizarro tracked that puck down on the far side of the ice with 4 minutes remaining. It's Pizarro, one-timer over. It's saved by the Vikings goaltender. Oh, it was Pizarro for Radu, and the one-timer was on target. Just the big leg pad in the way of the Vikings goaltender. Radu on the backhand, shoots in, and that's gloved down and frozen by the Vikings goaltender with 3:41 remaining here in the third period. It's the Crusaders with an offensive zone draw. All right, Sophia, tell us. 3 minutes, 41 seconds left. What's been your favorite part of the game?
No, it's all been really good. Sometimes having people at the edge of their seat. So.
Absolutely. This has been a thrilling game, as you can see both on the scoreboard and the goaltenders' performances too have been really, really impressive. And so for a neutral fan of the game of hockey, this one has been wonderful. Looks like a timeout called there. So we'll get just a bit of a delay, and we're going to entertain with you with some royalty-free music during this timeout. Stick around. This is Midnight Sports. Still 3:41 left to go in this one. Well, folks, a reminder, you're watching this game on Midnight Sports. Give us a like, follow, or subscription on Instagram or YouTube, and you won't miss a moment of the McClancy Crusaders hockey season. Looks like that next game is coming up on Monday, December 4th. It will be McClancy at World Ice Arena against Holy Cross. We hope you'll join us then. It's Pizarro on the faceoff, winning that over to the far half wall. Puck rolls down to the far corner. Vikings look to control. Pizarro there first, works it up toward Leach Wilson, who thinks about going point to point, spins, deflection on net. Saved nicely there, once again by the Vikings. Well, it was Leach Wilson throwing that on down toward the blue paint, and he was looking there for a teammate, and he had found Radu, who deflected it on target. Leach Wilson taking that face-off win, skating around one man, then two, picked up by Allen. Allen on the puck, back for Leach Wilson. Leach Wilson over toward Pizarro. It hits a skate, goes wide. 3:15 left to go in this game as the Vikings try and pick it up, but a good stick by DiVittorio cuts out the threat. And now it's Leach Wilson coming right back into the offensive zone. He's got two and now three men on him as Allen tries to tap that puck farther in the zone. It's Pizarro with a nice back check. He's got two men around him, and the Vikings look to escape the zone. DiVittorio hounds his man deeper into the offensive zone, and now Leach Wilson tries to take over that puck. Forces an early pass. DiVittorio tries to pick it up on the fly. The Vikings are able to get that puck out of the zone. DiVittorio taps it farther for Radu. Radu turns, fires toward Leach Wilson, who leaves it there for Allen. Allen into the zone, and he tries to load up. He goes around one man. He shoots just high of the cage as that puck was deflected up off a stick. Pizarro picks it up, turns. Puck rolls off his stick at the last second, and now it'll be the Vikings coming back the other way. DiVittorio did what he had to do to try and delay his man, but he's going to go for tripping with 2:23 remaining in this game. It's going to be a tripping call on the Crusaders, and the Vikings will go to a power play. Up 9-5 late in this one from Brooklyn, New York. Well, Sophia, you've seen almost this entire game. Would you come to another Catholic High School Hockey League game?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Fantastic. You love to hear it. It'll be the Vikings winning that faceoff, working it deeper on the near side toward the slot, loading up on the forehand, unable to touch it home. Those shots well out of the goal there to get a stick on that one. And so the Vikings will have to set up again at the near point. It's the Vikings working that down toward the near half wall, now the near corner. Vikings trying to stick it farther there. Unable to do so, though, because Radu in the way on that one. And now two Vikings men converge. Comes into the slot. Shots able to get on top of that puck. A wonderful save with 1:54 remaining to go in this hockey game. Still 131 on the man advantage for the Vikings. Now it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Crusaders, and it looks like it's going to be at the near circle now, as all the players were fooled as to where to line up. Puck's dropped, won by the Crusaders forward. Pizarro tries to escape the zone. Puck rolls off his stick, so it's dumped on down there by the Vikings. It's Crusaders again picking up the puck. They're going to skate this up and out of the zone, at least to the blue line, but it never leaves the zone, and now the Vikings have a 2-on-1. Good stick work there by Leach Wilson. Sends the puck the other way, and now Allen with speed through the neutral zone, able to go around his man, looking across the ice for Leach Wilson. It's left there in the slot. Pizarro picks it up, tries to settle that puck down. He gains some ice, but there's an injury on the ice, and so now there's some after action, and so we'll get a stoppage in play here as the officials try to get control of this one. .124 remaining to go in this game, and it should be a defensive zone draw, although it looks like it might be at center ice here, as the officials have taken one from each team and put them in the box. So we'll see just where this puck is going to be dropped. Just 84 seconds left to go, as some fans shout from the crowd that they just want this clock run. So we'll see. Well, looks like it's going to be a defensive zone draw here for the Crusaders, and we'll play this one out. 5-on-4 hockey. Now 5-on-3 now. Well, 4-on-3. Nope, 5-on-3. Now, you know what? Just spin the wheel. Take your pick on the numbers. 5-on-3 hockey. Despite the fact that the Vikings have one in the box, the Crusaders have two in the box. Really not enough time left in this game to figure it all out and get it right anyway. So it's Radu throwing that up out of the defensive zone toward Allen. Allen will just dump on in after gaining the line. It's the Vikings retrieving that puck in their own zone. And some still heavy hitting in the offensive zone there by the Crusaders. And Allen picks it up in his own defensive zone. He flicks that puck up and out once again. As icing gets waved off there, the officials just want to see this one out. Firing in was Davi on the forecheck. Davi forces another pass. 42 seconds left to go in this one. A lot of ice out there for this 5-on-3 hockey. And so it will be the Vikings skating up into the offensive zone. They're in on shots. They shoot, and that one's gloved down and saved. A wonderful save there, laid on in this one. 30.6 seconds remaining. And it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Crusaders. Now that puck sits at the dot momentarily. Davi throws it up to the near point. It's dumped right in by the Vikings. Allen will pick up that puck at the end boards and will just use his body to shield that puck and throw it over toward Radu. Vikings will control that puck. They're going to skate it up to the blue line, not out of the zone. Vikings able to hold it there, and still some heavy hitting as we play on. 10 seconds left to go here, as Allen will turn in his own zone on the puck. Allen will just see out the rest of this game, and so that'll do it here from Abe Stark in Brooklyn, New York. We've gone final. It's the St. Joe's Vikings 9, the McClancy Crusaders 5. Thank you so much to Sophia for joining us here on this broadcast, and we'll see you next time right here on Midnight Sports. Until then, stay safe.